Welcome to the Tatter Tatter Crochet and Tatting Podcast. This is episode 26, and I'm back. At least for right now. Lots of things to talk about, mostly life related stuff, and I would usually save that for the end, but nothing is going to make sense if I don't start off with the life stuff. So we've got a ridiculous amount of life stuff to update you on. And then I have some works in progress, no finished objects for the last 2 months, because baby. um, and then plenty of things to show you that I have purchased, because it's been 2 months and two big things happened, yarny things happened in that time. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Stephanie, and life stuff, I'm coming to you from my new home in Oregon. So baby, mom, brain, whatever, can't remember anything that I've told you. And I'm also recording on my laptop, so I hope the quality is decent. I have to order a new phone stand thingy because my husband is using my old one for work. But yeah, I can't remember what I told you. But I know that I have mentioned that I work for a seminary, which was originally based out of Los Angeles, but we are moving and embedding within an existing university in Salem, Oregon. And so before I had the baby, they asked me if I would be willing to move and be on staff up in Oregon. And my husband and I were like, let's have the baby. And then, oh, there goes Peanut. And then we'll figure out what we want to do. So Alexander was like 6 or 8 weeks, and we really had to make a decision because they wanted me up in Oregon by the time the fall semester started, which was the beginning of September, and Alexander was born in June. So he's sleeping, by the way. Odds are he will wake up while I'm recording, so you will probably get to see him. And so it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up, and so I took the job. And we are multi-state people. So we live in Southern California and we live in Oregon, which is a little insane. We've been doing this for about a month now, going back and forth. And it's a lot, but it's getting easier as we go. And I think, despite the fact that we have to be apart sometimes, my husband and I, and he has to be away from the baby sometimes, I think we're happier than if either of us had compromised our jobs. So we'll see how it works. So far, it's going okay. And luckily, Alexander is really good at flying. So he's already been on 2 round-trip flights and did pretty well, especially because it's only like a 2-hour flight from Southern California to Oregon. So it's going okay, but it's kind of a big deal. And it happened very quickly. And so that's where we are. But I really like my job, and now Adam, my husband, gets to stay home with the baby while I'm at work during the week because he works on the weekends now. And it's been a little rough, the adjustment for the two of them, and especially because Alexander's not a huge fan of taking a bottle, so we're working on that. We're training him in bottle taking. And but it's so good that they get to spend more time together, and I really enjoyed going back to work. Although I did that whole mom thing the first week where I was like glad to be around adults and have adult conversations, but I also missed my baby. So I may or may not have cried in my car a few times. But I was texting back and forth with my mom. She's like, oh yeah, I did the same thing. So you get used to it. And it's life. And Alexander needs to learn to not be completely dependent on me, and I need to learn how to be away from him because eventually he is going to have to go to school. I know that's a long time from now, but I can't believe it's already 4 months. It's gone by really fast. So, but he's doing really well. He's doing all of his little baby stuff. He smiles and laughs and talks and is pretty much the cutest thing in the world. So, sorry, other babies. Oh, don't knock over the tea. Mostly the tea is what we have to worry about. You can take the girl out of Southern California, but you can't take the Southern California, the Disneyland out of the girl. So, yarn related things. I know that didn't really take very long to explain, but it's such a huge deal. Oh, but I guess, yeah, so we found a really nice place to live. If you know anything about housing prices, it is significantly cheaper to live in Oregon, housing-wise, than it is to live in Southern California. So we have a lot more space up here, which is really nice. Peanut appreciates it. Peanut is up here. The cats are still down in Southern California. And the baby's stirring. He's still asleep. And it's nice and beautiful. It's hilarious though, because it is freezing up here for this California girl. I lived in Virginia for several years, so I know what cold is like. I'm just not used to it because it's been a couple years. But it was like, I don't know, a high of 50 something one day when we left to go back to LA, and then we got to LA and it was like 80. So I'm glad to get my vitamin D in while I'm down there. But I'm also really enjoying the cooler weather because it means I get to wear all of my knit and crochet stuff. I didn't bring very much with me. I'm kind of bringing stuff up as we go back and forth, so I've got to get more of my shawls and stuff. But it's nice to be able to wear cold weather clothes, wear my woolens, and put the baby in his, and I have a whole story about that later. We'll get there. So, like I said, I don't have any finished objects. We'll get to the yarny things now, because baby, but I'm super excited about what I'm working on. So the first thing I'll show you is something I have not worked on in a really long time, but I have made progress on it since the last time I talked to you, because last time I talked to you was over 2 months ago. So I love this bag. It's got little knitting sheeps on it. They're all cute. This is from DNA Designed by Angie on Etsy. And this is my Akiko shawl that I showed you last time. I don't remember where I was because, of course, I didn't put a progress keeper in it or anything. I think I was like, oh, because I had to redo it. So I was like here because I had to rip it out and redo it because I had counted wrong. And so I was able to get this done before I started on my other whip. But look at how pretty this is. Now that I pull it out, I really like it. I'm definitely going to have to finish this once I finish my other project. But I'm trying to be monogamous where I only work on one thing, because I also have a ridiculous amount of whips that I should finish before I start anything new again. But we'll see how that goes. Especially a bunch of sweaters that I started like 2 years ago and never finished. Because last winter I was pregnant and showing, so I was only wearing maternity clothes. So there was no motivation to finish any sweaters. But now that I live somewhere where I can actually wear a wool sweater, DK and worsted weight sweaters, I'll actually have to work on those. Anyway, so this is the Akiko shawl, is the name of the pattern, Akiko. And the yarn that I'm using, the blue is a Malabrigo, right? Hold on, I haven't looked in this in so long. I should actually double check. Where are my... Oh yeah, so it's a Malabrigo sock, and the color is Côte d'Azur. I don't know if you can see that. You can, yay! And it's fingering, and I think it's 100%. Yeah, superwash. And then the rainbow is from Republica Unicornia. She's amazing, and I love her stuff. And this is her sparkle sock base, which is 75% superwash, 20% nylon, 5% gold stellina, because we've talked about this on Gold Girl. My computer just put up the screensaver, so I couldn't see myself. Okay, and that doesn't look like it did anything to the video. Yeah, and this is the colorway No Seas Pendejo, which in Spanish means don't be an a-hole. And it's beautiful and I love it. So, yeah, I will finish this after I finish my next whip, which I'm going to show you. Because actually this would be really, really nice to wear here. So I should totally finish it. One of the things I've decided to do is to get blocking wires. So I'm going to get a blocking wire kit from like Knit Picks or something. If you have any suggestions on what to get or where to get it, let me know. But I'm just really tired of putting 80 million pins in something to make it straight when I could just use a blocking wire. So I'm going to order that. And now I have space to put it and to set it out to dry because I have an extra bedroom now. We don't have one bedroom, and then I have to try to keep the animals off of the bed and all that stuff. And it's actually cold enough to drink hot tea, which means I've had to get caffeine-free tea because you cannot drink caffeinated tea all day and breastfeed a baby at the same time, or that baby will never sleep. And you'll never sleep. So, what you have not seen, unless you watch the Cozy Crochet, the Cozy Cottage Crochet, unless you watch Hannah, because she's working on the same thing. I got the idea from her. Thanks, Hannah. This is a Republica Unicornia bag. See, it has little unicorns on it. So cute. And it is the Ariana cardigan. So this is a design by Vicky Chan. Oh my god, every time I look at it, I love it so much. So, it's a lacy cardigan, and I'm using Loops and Threads Wool-like in the, what do they call this color? Golden yellow. I knew it had something about gold in there. This is my third ball. I bought 5. I cleaned out the Michaels when I went. But I saw this on Hannah's podcast, and I was like, I'm going to make that, and I'm going to make it in Wool-like, because I've wanted to use Wool-like, and I knew I wanted to do it in mustard, because Vicky Chan does hers in mustard, and I saw it, like I said, on Cozy Cottage, and I was like, that's happening, and it's happening right now. So here's the pattern, so you can see she does it in a mustard kind of color, golden, yellow, whatever. I would call this mustard, like a golden mustard. But yeah, it's like, oh god, I can't help myself. It's so pretty. I love it so much. So I am done with all of the full repeats, and then you have to do a couple more rows after that. So I have 5 more rows to do on that, on the body, and then I can do the collar and the cuffs on the sleeves. So let me actually see if I can get this on and show you. There's like a million ends because I was not paying attention for part of it, and I fastened off when I shouldn't have in certain parts. And then of course there've been a couple of knots. I think 1 in the first ball and 2 in the second, and I don't remember if I've had 1 in the third yet or not. Let me see if I can stand up. So yeah, you can see it's going to stretch a little bit. It's going to grow when I wash it. But look at that lace. Look at how gorgeous that is. And I love this color. So yeah, it's down to my hips are, trying to show you this. My hips are like here. So it's going down. It'll cover my butt. And then the sleeves go down right at my elbow. And then with the cuff, it'll be perfect, and then I put a nice little collar on it. I love it so much. Oh god, I love it. That's so great. So yeah, that's happening, and it's one of those things where like I work on it a ton, and then I can't work on it for a couple days because, you know, baby. Oh, I sat on the yarn. But yeah, I'm gonna try. He's sleeping through the night now. He stirs. He's not eating in the middle of the night, so I actually get more sleep. So I've been staying up about an hour after he goes to bed, and sometimes I'm too exhausted. I just sit and watch TV, but I'm trying to crochet at least a little bit during that time. And then I found some groups to crochet with up in Salem, and then there's a group that I still go to down in SoCal for the crochet time. So yeah, my Ariana cardigan. And Wool-like, if you do not know, is a not Lion brand, Loops and Threads yarn that is a fingering weight, and it is 85% acrylic and 15% nylon. It's incredibly soft. And you get 678 yards for 100 grams. Because acrylic and nylon don't weigh as much as wool, so you get a lot more for your buck. And they're only $3.99 a ball in most, at least every time I've seen them in Michael's. Because Loops and Threads is a Michael's brand, so you can only get it at Michael's. And it's really soft and fabulous, and it's going to be washable. And I don't think I'm going to put it in the dryer the first time because I want to put it on a hanger so it kind of stretches itself out a little bit, because I don't think it's going to grow too much. I did do a swatch. I did not block the swatch because I just really wanted to get started on it and I didn't want to wait around for it to dry. So, yes. I'm super excited to finish this. Hopefully, the next time you see me will be soon. And I'll be wearing this. So, that takes me into sashay away all of the things that I have purchased. Because this is the first thing. So, I bought a Takumi hook from the Yarn Over truck to make my stash of shells, which I think I told you all this in the last episode because stash of shells was last episode. And I really liked it. And then we were ordering a bunch of stuff on Amazon for some reason. And I was like, oh, let me see if they sell Takumi hooks. Because, or not Takumi, Tulip. Is it made by Takumi? Whatever. Tulip, ignore everything I just said. And they had a full set on Amazon for $50. It was like on super sale. And it came in this cute little carrying case with all kinds of stuff. So, voila! Yeah, it comes in this really cute little carrying case, and it comes with a ruler and some yarn needles and scissors. And the little carrying case, the pen is mine. I put the pen in there. And the hook sizes, it goes from 3.25 up to 6. So 3.25, 3.5, 3.75, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. And I love working with them. I'm using a 3.5 for the Ariana. And they have a great little like bump right here to hold when you're crocheting, and the handle is a nice length and it's nice and squishy, so it's ergonomic. And then I like the tip. I don't know what type of tip you would qualify this as, if they have names or anything. It's kind of pointy, but it's also rounded. So it doesn't like split the yarn, but it also catches it very nicely. So yeah. And I think I had a gift card too. I think somebody gave us an Amazon gift card for baby stuff. I also bought baby things in that same purchase, so it counts. Yeah, and so now just anytime I have a crochet project, I'm just going to throw this in the bag, and then that way I always have all the hooks and the scissors and a pen and all the crap that I'm going to need, so I don't have to try to remember to put that in every bag and then, just lose all of my hooks because they're in whip bags that I haven't touched in forever. And also because of the traveling, I could just put this in whatever whip bag I'm working on, and then if I want to start something else when I'm in the other place, I've got it all with me. I don't have to worry about it. I did bring my Swift and my winder and all that up here. Again, more space, more places to put things. Yeah, so I'm really happy about that. And I mean, I'm still going to buy more tulip hooks from the Yarn Over truck because I want to support Meredy and what she does, and I kind of feel bad that I got the idea from her and then gave Amazon my money. But you can always use more than one hook of a different size, so especially 3.5s and 4s and 4.5s because I do a lot of fingering weight projects. and DK projects. So that'll be good. So much yarn because since I've last seen you, it has been both the San Diego Yarn Crawl and the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival. So much yarn. So first is the San Diego Yarn Crawl. It was in September. It was like a week before we moved. And so I went, my parents live in San Diego County, so I went down and hung out with my mom, and we took Alexander to some yarn shops because this is his life now. And we had a really great time. So we went to 2 shops. The first one was Yarning for You, which is in San Marcos in North County, San Diego. And it's actually the only yarn shop in North County, which is a little insane, at least that I know of. It's the only one that participates in the crawl. And my mom knows the woman who used to own it because her daughter is my sister's best friend, blah, blah, blah. So we have like this connection. And it's a great shop. And so I got a couple things there. One of the trunk shows they had was this young woman from Florida who does Emma's yarn. And I'm talking like young. Like, I don't even know if she's technically an adult. Very, very young. But she was really nice, and she had some really cool colors, so I got some yarn for her. I don't know what this is going to upload like, because I've never recorded on my laptop before, but these are not coming off great on my screen, so I hope it's better. But this is like a really nice, like rusty orange. This is her DK base, Simply Spectacular DK. It's 75% superwash, 25% nylon, 255 yards for 100 grams. And this color is called Foxy Lady. So yeah, it's kind of a fox orange. And then this is called Kale. Just like a deep, kind of like fir tree, not like animal fur, green. And I love it. It's so nice. And so I got these because I think these would look really nice knit, and I don't like knitting with fingering weight because it takes forever. And I have this idea in my head, and I can't decide what yarn I want to do it with, but I want to just do a really simple, because I'm kind of ready to get back to knitting post baby, just because it takes so much more brain power for me because I'm newer at it and I still have to like look, and you can't. I hate having to knit back or rip out or whatever, because with knitting it seems impossible to fix it. So I try to really concentrate so I don't have to worry about it, because it's just really frustrating. So I have this idea where I just take some circulars and just knit in around and around and around and around and around and around and around stockinette, and just make like a long like tube scarf or something, so that's kind of my foray back into knitting, to get used to it again. And I don't know if these colors would be good for that or what. I can't decide. I also have some like bulky hand dyed that I like that I might do. I could do it in fingering too, because I have plenty of like self-striping, and I'll even show you one from the yarn call that I got. Not self-striping, but gradient. But I can't decide. I want to finish the Ariana cardigan, and then I'll make up my mind. But yeah, so I think these are really pretty together. Again, I really hope the color shows up better. I really need to get that stand for my camera. So I got those, and then and this was, like I said, this is one of their trunk shows. So anytime I go to a crawl, I try to get like a yarn crawl exclusive colorway, or whomever they're doing a trunk show for or something. So something that I wouldn't be able to get there normally. And so I had one of their specialty colorways that was dyed specifically just for them, for the yarn crawl. And I was walking around, and then I saw this. And this is not special for the yarn crawl or anything, but it is gorgeous, and I had to have it. I think especially because I saw like this red stripe thing with the aqua color, and I couldn't help myself. So this is Candy Skein, and this is the Yummy fingering base. So it's 75% merino, 25% nylon. It is the fingering weight, 463 yards to 100 grams. And this is from the Star Wars Snack series. And the colorway is Boba Tea Fett, which I think is hilarious. I'm not a huge Star Wars person, but I still think that's clever. Ta-da! So, yeah. Couldn't help myself. I had to get it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think it would make a really pretty either crochet or knit, one skein scarf or cowl or shawlette or something. Yeah, one of these days. So that was yarning for you. And then we drove up to Ramona, which for San Diego is in the middle of nowhere, kind of up in the mountains a little bit. Because last year we went to Julian, which is a little bit farther than Ramona. So this time we stopped in Ramona and went to, what is that yarn shop called? Oh no, I'm going to forget. Hold on, I followed them on Facebook. This is the good thing about not recording on my phone, because then I can look things up. Also, Disneyland. Like I said. Ramona Country Yarn Store. Yeah, you can't take the Southern California out of the curl. Just can't do it. Ramona Country Yarn Store. And I'd never been in there before, and it was a really nice little shop. Very little, but jam-packed full of stuff. Everybody was really sweet. I had Alexander, and he got hungry as soon as we got in there. And they let me sit in the back in one of the comfy chairs so that I could feed him, and they brought me water, and then they had cookies, and they were really sweet, and I really appreciated it. How nice they were about the baby. Sometimes people can get a little weird about breastfeeding in public. So I really appreciated it. It was very sweet of them. And then looked around and got some stuff. The first thing that I got, this is the gradient that I had mentioned. So this is from Inner Yarn Zen. Find your yarn balance. And this was one of the special trunk shows that they had going on. So this is, it just says gradient. It's a light fingering. So it says 460 yards, but it doesn't say how many grams. I have to weigh it. It looks like a normal fingering to me. 75% superwash, 25% nylon. And the colorway is Cosmic Cat's Paw. There was another colorway that I was thinking of, but then when I saw the name of this one, I was like, yeah, this one's the way to go. So you can see it goes from yellow to kind of a really, really light pinky purple, and then it goes to the dark purple. And it goes from kind of a darker yellow to a lighter yellow to the pinky purple to the dark purple. So I think that's really pretty. And this would make, too, just a nice, simple scarf or shawl or shawlette or something. So I like that a lot. And then the one that I'm very excited about, this is my favorite that I got at this crawl, is this. So sitting in the back with me while I was breastfeeding was this woman who was teaching somebody else how to spin. And she was there because she owns an alpaca farm. And so they breed the alpacas for their wool and for the color. So they don't dye. They breed the alpacas specifically to make certain colors. And most of the yarn she has spun, and then they sell the yarn. But she also does some of the spinning herself. And so this particular skein, she raised the alpaca. I don't know if she specifically sheared the alpaca. I'm sure somebody else actually sheared the alpaca. But then she cleaned and spun the alpaca and produced this amazing, beautiful piece of, oh God, it smells so good, of wonderfulness. So the name of the farm is Alba Alpaca, and the woman's name is Monet, and so this is Monet's private reserve. The name of the alpaca is Chaska. And so that's how you know. So this is 150 yards, 4.5 grams. um, ounces, 4.5 ounces, 4.5 grams, which 4.5 ounces is a lot. Let's see, 4.5 ounces to grams, 127 grams. So this is like a worsted to bulky, and it's a really dark, like chocolate brown, and it is one of the softest things I have ever touched in my life. Like almost as soft as the baby. And it's absolutely, it's so nice. And I asked my hubby, oh, and it's a 3-ply. She hand spun this, and it's a 3-ply. So I asked Adam, and he wants a hat, so I'm gonna make him a beanie for Christmas / Hanukkah out of this, and it's hopefully I have some left over. Maybe I'll make something for the baby. But it's so soft, like it smells really good, and it's so soft. I love it so much, and it's so special. I mean, it was insanely expensive because she charges by the ounce, but it was totally worth it. That's why I didn't buy too much stuff during the crawls, because 1, I don't need more yarn, and 2, I wanted to get special stuff. So I did, and it's super special, and I love it so much. This is a picture of the alpaca. That's Chaska. So cute. Love it. So that was the San Diego yarn crawl. We had a great time. We went to a nice little hipster restaurant for lunch. And then I've got mac and cheese with fried Brussels sprouts on it, to make it healthy. We had a great time. Yeah, and then we drove up here to Oregon the middle of September. Yeah, today is Sunday, October 13th. So we've been here for about a month. Yeah, so we moved in the middle of September. And it turned out that first weekend that we were here, Adam went back down to LA, and it was the same weekend as the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival. So I was talking to the chaplain who works at Willamette, which is the school where we are moving to, and she saw that I had something handmade on, or Alexander he was wearing the crochet sweater that I made him, and so she was telling me about Oregon Flock and Fiber, and then I was on Instagram, and I saw that someone was posting that they had a group at Flock and Fiber, and so I messaged her, and this is her name is Amy. She's Green Hook on Instagram. Let me make sure that's her full name. I'm pretty sure that's it. And so I messaged her and was like, hey, I just moved here. Can I come hang out with you? Like, are you going to be there? What are you guys doing? And she was like, yeah, of course. Come on down. Yeah, Green Hook. And so I went up on that Saturday. Alexander and I went and hung out and sat and crocheted. It was the Crochet Guild of America group that's around here. And it was awesome. I had a great time. And then we went to go do some shopping. And there was a giant black storm cloud that started moving very quickly in our direction. And we had heard that it had been hailing in Portland, which was a little bit further north of where we were. And so we left. And we managed to get in the car. We got rained on. Well, I got rained on. I had to cover for the baby. And managed to get in the car before it started hailing. And it was more like giant snowflakes. It was like tiny snowballs. They were more slush than hail, which is good because no damage to the cars or anything. And we drove out of it relatively quickly, but I was like, oh yeah, we're not in Southern California anymore. It's hailing. But yeah, we had a good time. But since I didn't really get a chance to walk around and do any shopping, I went back the next day, and because the Crochet Guild group was still there, so we hung out with them for a little bit again, and then Amy and I walked around, and she showed me some of her favorite dyers and stuff, and I found some really nice things. So I will show them to you. They're over here. So the first day I did manage to get to one booth that Amy had told me about. And again, I only wanted like local Oregon stuff. And it was Lilliput yarn. So Lilliput is the corgi, right? And they're out of Beaverton. Yes, which don't ask me where that is. It's in Oregon. I still am learning geography up here. But this is her simple sock base. She was at the stand. She was very nice. And it's 80% superwash, 20% nylon, 400 yards to 100 grams. And this color, the pink one, is called Molly. And the blue one is called Tucker, which I didn't even think about, but that's Alexander's middle name, so. But I think they go really well together, and they're a lot of fun. I could even do this as like my tube scarf. I don't want to work with fingering weight yarn for knitting right now. I'll work my way back to that. But yeah, so I think this is like a dark rose pink. It's kind of showing up. What I'm seeing right now is true to color. I don't know what it's going to look like once I actually upload it into iMovie, but that's what we got. And then like a bright aqua blue. Lovely. These are the only two that I bought at Flock and Fiber that I don't have plans for. Pretty impressed with myself on that one. So I got those. I cannot believe he's still asleep. He usually doesn't sleep this long. Works for me. Okay. And then I will show you these. So, one of the other stands that was there is, again, a woman who owns a farm. She does sheep, and she has like 40 some odd different breeds of sheep. There's a lot of different kinds of sheep. And so they have a lot of different kinds of yarn. And I had been specifically looking, I want to make a Christmas themed cowl. And I want to learn a new knitting skill in doing it. So I was thinking, get like a Christmas green and a Christmas red, and then do some kind of stranded color work cowl. And then as I'm looking at patterns, I may switch that and do like a brioche cowl or like a really simple brioche cowl or something. But the colors that I found were these. Now tell me that does not say Christmas. This says Christmas. Yeah, so a really like Christmassy green and like a cranberry red. Lovely. And that smells so good. They are both a deboulé, which is a type of sheep, I understand, and tussa silk. So it's 50-50 wool and silk. Fingering weight. The name of the farm is called Shaggy Bear Farms, and it's from SCIO, S-C-I-O, Oregon. No idea where that is. And the green is 6.4 ounces and 717 yards. So this is like a skein and a half, a little more than that even. And then this is, they're the same base, and this is 290 yards to 2.6 ounces. So this is a little bit less, like 3/4 of a full skein of yarn. So that's why I was thinking the stranded color work, because then I could do this as the main color and then this would be the color inside. But I found a pattern that I kind of liked on Ravelry. But I don't know if you have any, it doesn't specifically have to be a Christmas pattern. Just any kind of stranded color work and something really simple, because obviously I've never done that before. So it needs to be like a beginner, which is why I was thinking the brioche, because you can learn brioche as a beginner, but because these two skeins are so different in size, anyway, ideas please. Help me out here, especially if you're an experienced knitter. I'd appreciate it, but I would love to do something with these. These are meant to be a Christmas project. That's just it. It could be my Christmas cowl. which means I'll actually have to make it. So I will have to cast on a new project instead of working on a whip. Oh, darn. Yeah, so these are great. And of course, because they're silk, they're really soft and they're going to be really strong. This is clearly a very hardy yarn, and I love it. So then there's those. And then last thing that I got was, ta-da! So this is clearly a set. This is from Alexandra, The Art of Yarn. She's also out of Oregon, but it doesn't say where. And then this is from a collection that she did in collaboration with some dyers or some designers. So it's called the Small Fry Collection, F-R-Y, and they made patterns specifically to go with these gradients. So it's a main color base and then a gradient mini set. And so the patterns came with it. I don't necessarily plan on making any of those patterns anytime soon, but I appreciated them because it was like 20 some odd dollars worth of knit patterns. There were 3 of them. Of course, they're only knitting because, but I do have a very specific project in mind for this. And the second I saw it, I was like, I'm making that. So let me tell you about the yarn first. So the main color is the gray. It's a 65% superwash, 15% yak, 20% silk base, 438 yards, 100 grams. And then the one of the gradients, this lovely one, you can kind of see it has some stellina in it. So that one is 75 superwash, 20 nylon, 5 stellina. It's 87 yards. And then all of the other purples, which are just, sorry, everything is reversed in the computer camera, so I keep turning things the wrong way. Those are 75 superwash, 25% nylon, and they are 92 yards each for a total of 460 yards. So the total yardage of the whole thing is like 980 something. And they're so nice. And this one is really soft because of the yak and the silk. So what I want to make with these, if you have ever heard of Addie Day Designs, Deanne is the creator, and she came out with a new pattern sometime recently called Bantam, which I watched her most recent podcast, which was from June, but I just watched it, means like petite or small. And so she specifically designed it to go with minis. And when I saw that it had come out, I went to try to buy it because it's gorgeous and I love it. But it wasn't, for whatever reason, Ravelry and PayPal weren't working and it wouldn't let me purchase it. So I messaged her and said, hey, can I buy this from you another way? And she just sent it to me for free. So thank you, Deanne. That was amazing and wonderful. And I'm going to use these yarns to make it. And she specifically designed it so that you have different options based on the kinds of minis that you have. So I can make a smaller version because these minis are a little bit smaller than the original. That's fine by me. So, yeah, because the way that it works, I don't have a printer up here yet, so I didn't print it out. Let me see if I can actually, sorry, my phone just notified me that an app was tracking me. No such thing as privacy anymore, don't worry about it. Where is it? Library? Oh no, the baby is stirring. Recently added? Is it in there? No. Oh, I could just type it in. What am I doing? Here we go. So let me see if I can show you. So this is the Ravelry page. Yeah, you can kind of see that. It's blowing out a little bit, but that's better. So you can see, other way. There's like a main color, that cream color, and then the different minis are gradient. It's like a chevron pattern. and it's just absolutely freaking gorgeous. Um, okay, cool. Um, why do I pick up my phone? I was looking up something and then I got distracted. Yeah, so I'm going to use those to make a bantam, which I'm super excited about. There's so many things that I want to make, and there's just not enough hours in the day. Although, I am going to start taking crochet with me to work so that I can work on things during my lunch break. And then I have that hour after Alexander goes to sleep. And then if he naps in the middle of the day while we're home and I'm not doing anything, then I'll sit and work on stuff. And he's getting a lot better at playing by himself. He just sits and plays with his toys because he can grab things now and like pull them towards his mouth, of course. So he'll sit and just hang out a little bit. So I'm getting a little bit more time. He doesn't need me 24/7 anymore. Just, like 22/7. Oh, there's a baby. I'm coming, baby. Hold on. We're back. He woke up and he had something to eat, and now he's feeling much better. Yeah, I know. You're still a little sleepy. You took a long nap. That was a big one for you. He was wearing a significantly cuter outfit earlier with dinosaurs on it, but then his diaper overflowed a little and he peed all over himself. So, babies, this is my life now. See, it's pretty cute though. So yeah, so flock and fiber and yarn. What was I talking about when you woke up? Where was I? I showed you everything because it's back in the bag now, so I know I did that. But yeah, I'll put in a picture from Flock and Fiber because this cutie could finally wear, because it was cool enough and it still fit him, his baby sophisticate sweater that I knit, the blue one. And it was so freaking adorable. And the hat my mother-in-law made, and I love that like neon green yarn. Yeah. And he stayed nice and toasty, fell asleep in the little baby carrier thing while we were walking through the sheepies. It was great. I'll put in some pictures of the sheep, and I think I took some videos, so I'll put some of that stuff at the end. And of course, because he is a baby, he threw up or spit up. He didn't throw up, he spit up on his baby sophisticate. So when we got home, behind me, those lovely doors, is a washer and a dryer, which is amazing. I can actually do laundry because I don't have to carry him around and it's not 90 degrees. And so I put it in the washing machine, and then when I pulled it out of the washing machine, I was like, oh crap, I forgot. That was not superwash, it was alpaca. So it now looks like this. It felted. I don't know if you could see, but like this was knit. And you could clearly tell that it was knit, and now it just completely felted. So I mean, it's not so stiff that I don't think, he might still be able to wear it. It was already kind of getting a little small though, so I don't know that I'm going to try. But yeah, pay attention, people, with your woolens. Pay attention. Don't put them in the washing machine if they're not superwash. Although why I made something for a baby that wasn't superwash, I have no idea. But it's really cute. And you can see in the picture, he looked really cute in it. Are you drooling? Big baby drool, big baby drool, big baby drool, big baby drool. He's like, Mom, jeez, gosh, you're embarrassing me in front of the people. Big baby drool, big baby drool. Yeah, he's still trying to wake up. And of course he's adjusting to the weather change because his face is like getting all chapped, and he scratches himself every now and then. I gotta trim your nails again. Oh goodness. Oh no. What is the grumpy face for? Although honestly, if he's not smiling, he just looks like a grumpy old man. So that's just his face. Are you still waking up? Are you still waking up? Say hello to the people. Say hello, people. Show them your cute little baby smile. Oh, you're so cute, and you smile all the time. People need to see how cute you are. Your baby smiles. Show the people how cute you are. The baby smiles. He's smiling. He's smiling. He's smiling. No, he stopped smiling. What are you gonna do? You smile. What are you gonna do? You smile. He only likes to smile at me. Well, at people in general. He doesn't realize that you are people. Yeah. Can you see? But yeah, so now that I've ruined that sweater, I'm just going to have to actually finish the other one that I'm making him, because it should be perfect for him for Thanksgiving when we go back east and it's nice and chilly and we go to the Christmas party that my family has every year. I plan on him wearing that sweater at the Christmas party. Yeah, so we can show you off. Oh, that'd be a really good time to have that cowl done too. I think that's going to happen. Probably not, especially if I end up doing some kind of complicated new thing like color work or brioche. Yeah. Yeah. Look at you. Can you see yourself? I don't know if you can see that far yet. Yeah? And you have no sense of object permanence. You don't realize that that is you. But it is. It's you. And you're cute. So yeah. Yarny things. It's exciting to be back. I'm glad to be back with you all. Oh, big baby yawn. And I hope I can keep recording probably every other week, once a month. I'm going to aim for every other week and then hope that we do at least once a month. But now that we're settled, for the most part, you tell them. You tell them how you feel. Hopefully we can get that going. And of course the holidays are coming up, so that's going to like throw a wrench in everything. So I make no promises, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try really hard. Especially because I want to have things done, or at least in progress to show you, so that I'm not just sitting here talking about nothing. And I had plenty this time because of the whole, you know, buying yarn business. So yeah, good times. Thank you all for watching. If you want to find me on the internet, I haven't been posting very much on Instagram. Oh no, big baby, what's the matter? But I am the Tatted Tatter on Instagram and Tatted Tatter on Ravelry, and I'll put a link to my project page because I do still keep up with my project pages on Ravelry. What? And try to post pictures and weigh my yarn so I know how much I used and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, did you just want to look at your mom? You want to show everybody how strong you are and how tall you are? Look at you, you're so tall. You're so strong. Look at those big baby legs. You can't see this right now, but he is very smiling at me. Very smiling. Yeah. Yeah. Can I catch you mid-smile and then go, whoosh? Nope, you're going to stop smiling? Here, you want to stand up and smile at the people? Who's my tall baby? Who's my big tall baby? Yeah, look at my big tall baby. What are you doing? No? We're done? Okay. Tatted Tatter on Ravelry, the Tatted Tatter on Instagram. And yeah, and I'm going to hope to be back with you in 2 weeks. That's my goal. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any podcast-related questions, you can email me at thetattedtatterca@gmail.com. And please do leave a comment, any suggestions for patterns that I talked about. And if you have anything to say, I'm grasping at straws here. But yeah, it's great to be back with you all, and I look forward to reading your comments and responding to them. I'm going to try to be better at responding to comments. And just respond when they come in and on the YouTube app on my phone. Because I can do that. I can do it. I can. And especially now that I'm back at work and have more of like a normal day-to-day schedule instead of relying on his schedule. Routine helps me get things done, helps me be more like efficient at things because I'm a routine kind of person. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for some pictures and video from Oregon Flock and Fiber, and then maybe a blooper or two. And I will see you all soon. So thank you so much. Bye. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I always look cross-eyed because of the glare on the glasses. But that's okay. Let's see. Oh, it's reversed. I can show you. What things look like. It's so weird that it's reversed. Alright, let's watch this back, see what the quality's like. Yeah. You still a little sleepy, big baby? There you are. Yeah. Say hello. Hello, people. Yeah. You wanna smile? Gonna rub your sleepy baby eyes? Yeah? Can you see yourself? Can you see that far? Yeah? You see the bright lights? Oh, big yawn. Yeah. Yeah. Are you rubbing your sleepy baby eyes? Say hi. Say hello. Say hi, big baby.